This podcast was recorded on Gubby Gubby land and pays respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Reckon?
Is this better?
Talk?
Hello.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast and a brand new season, which is super exciting. And I thought, there's no better way to kick off the new vibe of the podcast than to do a little bit of a get to know me episode, but have my sister ask me questions. So welcome, Nell.
Hello. I'm Nelly. I'm Sneak's little sister. Well, Tanika's little sister. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm just I feel like we're just both so funny, and I think it's just gonna
Right,
it's just gonna be such a funny episode because I have
we
no
think
idea.
We're funny. We're gonna think it's funny. I don't know about other people, but
yeah.
At least we'll have a laugh.
I have no idea what you're gonna ask me, so I think that'll be so funny. But yeah, we're just gonna get into it. Nellie's got a bunch of questions curated for me. So let's go. Let's get to know me. Let's just get to know some things I've probably not shared on the podcast or really much at all. Let's go.
All right. Well, just kind of before we get into them, really, do you want to explain your nickname, Sneaky?
Yes, because you're going to call me that through the whole episode and people are going to be so confused. So Sneak or Sneaky is my nickname. Do you know the story of it?
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows it. We tell it all the time.
Yeah. It's actually the coolest story, I reckon. I'm always oh my god, get it. There's no cooler way to get a fucking nickname than this. But basically, when I was born, my mum had a medicated birth, so she was a little bit, airy-fairy in the mind. And the doctor said, oh, what are you calling your daughter? And she said, Sneaker Lace. And the doctor goes, who on earth would call your daughter? Who on earth would call their daughter Sneaker Lace? And everyone just laughed. My nana and my mum and my dad, I guess, were in there, and laughed. And mum was no, Tanika Lace. And so since my name's Tanika Lace, it makes kind of sense. And then I don't know, just it's evolved through my life really, from sneaker to sneak,
yep,
to sneaky to sneaky lace. I don't know, it's just kind of
evolved. It's just stuck.
Yeah.
It's never left.
Never left. A lot of people, I remember in school, so many people didn't even know my real name.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah,
I've
even
always...
Jai, your partner calls you that. Everyone just calls you by that.
If someone calls me Tanika, I feel I'm better now, but I feel
you're in trouble.
Yeah, I always feel I'm in trouble because mum would only ever call me Tanika if I was in trouble.
Yeah.
So every day. No kidding.
All right, let's move on. Okay, this is a fun one. First nightclub experience. Anything crazy?
Oh my god, this is so funny. Okay, my first ever nightclub experience. Do you mean just the first time I ever went to a proper club or just Gympie?
I
can tell both.
Whatever you think, a proper club,
okay.
More a city one, because
okay,
that'd be more
because
interesting.
I remember on my actual 18th birthday, and Auntie Stace, our auntie was up in Gympie where I grew up for my teenage years, and we went out to the fucking Royal, if you know, but we went out and I was just
it's a very specific vibe.
I was oh, is this it? But my first proper nightclub experience I think would have been the Gold Coast, actually, in Cavillav, when I went with one of my good friends, Saffron, and Auntie Stace again came with us because we were kind of nervous to go out, I'm pretty sure, just us girls. And Saf and I had a friend in the UK who travelled over here, and so we all didn't kind of know the area that well. I don't know, just
you were nervous.
Midnight and stuff. But I think we just went out and oh yeah, that's right, we did the birthday package on Cavill. So you kind of message a bunch of nightclubs and you're just hey, it's my birthday, and they give you free fish bowls and free entry and stuff. So we actually did that. Cool. And yeah, it was pretty good.
Awesome. So it was all good. Yeah, that's really good. Alrighty. What's the worst situation you've put yourself in? Whether it's embarrassing or dangerous, in your own, whatever you think is the worst situation you've put yourself in.
Oh my god. Okay, what is the worst situation I've ever put myself in? This is such a good question, but I'm what have I chosen to do to myself?
Yeah, like makes you think.
Like something that's like coming to my mind, which I don't know if it's kind of embarrassing to tell it, but it's not necessarily like dangerous, like I'm gonna die, but in the moment I felt like I was gonna die. Yeah. So I'm just gonna tell this story. But it was when I was in Hamilton Island with Jai.
Oh, no.
And we like decided we were going to go. There's like this beach in Hamilton Island. And like when you look up Hamilton Island, like a lot of the time you see like people sitting on this specific swing at this like secluded beach.
Oh, beautiful.
So we were like, let's go fucking find the beach, right? Like obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And you can only get there, I'm pretty sure, on like the 4-wheel drive, like golf buggies.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually hired them the day before, so we kind of knew where the beach was, but we were just going to do the walk there. Mind you, it's fucking so hot in like far north Queensland, like wherever you are, and I swear like any time of year. And we were like, let's go do this hike, and we literally got lost in Hamilton Island.
Oh,
and like
no.
I feel like it's like embarrassing to tell, because like, if you know, you know, but like Hamilton Island is fucking small, and like we literally were lost for hours in the middle of the day with no water, no food. We had no idea where we were. We were trying to map ourselves back, but because it's not really like roads, like it was just like, we were just like literally lost, and we would just like hear those like 4-wheel drive buggies go past, and we'd try and run after where they were. And it was literally the worst. Like, I feel like that would be like pretty dangerous, really, because like we could have just like died out there, you know.
Because if it got to like nighttime or even the evening, like animals could come out and get you. I don't know.
And I was literally like, I remember like, and then the next day I'm pretty sure was when we did the jet ski tour, and like my literal bikini top broke because my boobs are so big, and then
you remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and then my back went out and I literally couldn't get off the jet ski. And so I was like, I couldn't get off the jet ski. And then when I did get off the jet ski, took my fucking life jacket off and my whole boobs came out in front of everyone.
That is
so... But it was like the best trip ever. But like, it was just like, I feel like they're probably like worst situation, but like...
Very memorable.
Yeah, like more memorable, I think. Yeah, I can't think of like any... I feel like I've always been like very like... intuitive, like with like knowing if situations are dangerous, or like always sort of like reading the room really well. So I'm not sure if I've put myself in like super bad situations in a sense of like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What accomplishment are you most proud of so far?
Oh my god, honestly, my relationship with Jai. Like,
I thought you'd say that, honestly.
Yeah. Because we've been together for literally so fucking long, and like, you would know Nelly, like when we were young little teenagers, and like it wasn't like the best relationship because we were both learning how to like love in a healthy way, and like we both were modeled relationships in ways that aren't, no, that's not how I want to say it. We've both been modeled very different forms of how to show love, and so it was about like coming to a place of like actually like understanding how to love each other the way we like to love and be loved. And so I feel like we're just, I mean, for a few years now, like we've been in like the best fucking place, and like we just continue to grow and evolve together.
You really have. Like, even, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, but
okay.
Yeah, like even like our family and stuff, and I've just noticed the growth in both of you as individuals and as a couple is just so amazing. And I'm just like so proud of you both.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, it's so weird because like I remember when me and Jai first got together, and like you were still so young. Like remember he'd pick you up and like spin you around like with your arms.
He's honestly like my brother. Like he's family. He's always has been. Like he's just. Couldn't pick a better one.
I literally remember the night like Mum met him and she came out to the car and was like, "Don't you hurt my fucking daughter!" Like the full like, oh my god. And he was just like Jai has the biggest heart. Like he's the most caring fucking person on this whole planet. Like actual teddy bear vibes. Like would never hurt a soul. And like
honestly,
Mum's out there like treating him like he's some like
our mum is a big softie on the inside, but she can act like so dramatically tough, but like she can be scary if she wants to be. But poor Jai would have been shaking in his boots. Shaking in his boots. Oh, sorry, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, okay. It's fine. Like I literally
alrighty.
Speak like a trucker.
Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you feel supports you the most in your life?
Again, well, like obviously Jai, because he literally, like the amount of times, like even last night, like you witnessed us like in the kitchen, I was just having a bit of a moment and he just holds me to such a high standard and like will just tell me like, okay, let's like speak about this, but like not get emotional, or like, you know, he'll explain to me my blind spots and like really like hold me to that high standard that I think I really need, because that bratty energy can come out in me. But honestly, that's in that area of life, which is like my life, I guess. He like holds me, like is like a big support. But then there's other areas of my life, like the really deeply emotional stuff that like it just gets like is like more the girl stuff, you know, that you need like your girls, and like I feel like you are like such a huge support for me. And like I honestly feel like you and Jai are probably actually the two people that I like the most would say like are my biggest support, and that I really really lean on in like the wet times that I yeah
that makes sense. Well,
oh my god, by the way guys, like Nelly is literally only 16.
Oh my god, I was about to say that with my next question.
But yeah, what's your next question?
All right, well, since I am 16, what advice would you give your 16-year-old self that I could take from?
Yeah,
so go.
I think I would just say, don't be so hard on yourself. Stop putting the pressure that it all has to be like a certain way right now, and just allow yourself to just be you. But in the same breath, actually let yourself have fun, and stop always needing to be in control of your external circumstances. Like, let your hair down. Don't be so anxious. Like, it's all going to work out how it's supposed to. And like, you're allowed to just like, I don't know, like have the nights where you just get blackout drunk, and you're, you know, you're allowed to like do those things. It doesn't make you mean that you're not still on person. Yeah, like it doesn't mean that you're not on your right path or anything. Like, I just remember when I was 16 and I struggled from an eating disorder, and I would I would either binge drink really bad and then like feel really bad about myself, or I would just like be the complete opposite and would like restrict I was very restrictive. And I just feel like everything plays a part to get to where you get when you're older. But I think I was just way too hard on myself. Like, way too hard on myself. Definitely. So take that from me, queen. Don't be so hard on yourself, girl.
Yes, and everyone else out there, take notes. Alrighty. Okay, this is another fun one. What's your embarrassing period story?
Okay.
Because everyone has one.
Yeah, everyone does have one. It's so true. And I fucking love this question because it's like so good, because I love talking about this stuff. Oh my god. Okay, I think my most embarrassing would be okay, when I was like 15, or I would have been 14 actually. When I just like, okay, so when I first got my period, I was like 14 or like 14 and a bit, whatever. And when I first got them, I got them every 2 weeks, which is why I like went on the pill pretty early, because like it was like the doctor was like, well, they're irregular, blah blah blah, but it's like my body was just trying to do its thing, but they were really really heavy. Anyway, I remember I had like a boyfriend before Jai, and I went and stayed over at his friend's house, who I was also friends with, but it was like a sleepover club. There was like 4 boys and me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was like we were all like really good mates.
Yeah.
And I literally had my period, and okay, they lived with the the guy that like whose house it was lived with his dad, so there was no girls in the house.
Yeah.
I had the heaviest fucking period of my life.
Oh no.
I still remember I went into the toilet and I was like, I literally remember like walking there going like, oh please, just like, you know how sometimes when you have your period you imagine it's way heavier than it is. Like
nothing,
like you think, oh my god, like I need to go, and like back then I wore pads, and it would be like, oh my god, I gotta go change my pad, but then you'd look and there'd be nothing. It was like one of those moments where I was like, please be that situation. And it was not that situation. I remember it was like everywhere, and like
a murder.
It was so, and I was like, I felt so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god. And like, you know, back then obviously I'm not as like empowered. I wasn't empowered by my cycle kind of thing. I was like, oh my god. And I literally was just like, there was like a sanitary bin and everything, but like I was literally like, remember, like I couldn't sleep that night because I was like, they're gonna know it was me. There was no other girls here. I feel like that would be like my most embarrassing, but also like, I guess like it's not really embarrassing because like no one knows. I don't know, like
honestly I feel like you could have said, oh, I cut myself like not in a sad way, just like, you know, you cut your finger or something and they believe you. Like, because boys are pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Like, at that age. And then, like, no offense to any men out there, but, you know. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking through my list. Not very organized. Okay. Do you feel you understand yourself and your grandmother more since her passing?
Oh my god, wait, I just thought of like another really embarrassing... No, it's not really that embarrassing, but like...
Alright, we'll take a pause and go to that.
Okay. Do you know when you like, this has happened to like every girl, but this happened to me. I was just like at I think I was just doing the grocery shopping. This was like a few months ago. This wasn't long ago. Like, I literally remember I was wearing like those green pants that I wore today.
Oh my god, yes.
And I didn't know, but I wear period undies, but anyway, I leaked all over my pants and was grocery shopping and everything.
Wait, was this at the markets?
Oh my god, was it at the markets? Were you with me?
Yeah, I think it was when we were with Jen and stuff.
Oh, maybe I can't.
Did this happen twice in the same
No,
minutes?
it would have been like the same time.
Because it was all down your leg and everything. It was mortifying.
Yeah, and like it was so noticeable, but no one told me.
Yeah,
because no one looked.
No, but somehow it wasn't, because it somehow remained on the inside of your leg, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not get so.
It was very odd.
It was like
that
odd. Was embarrassing. So I was like, babe, I've literally been fucking walking around all these places, and that was embarrassing. But like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't had like. Anyway, ask me that question again. I didn't fully listen.
Okay. So, do you feel you understand yourself and your grandmother more since her recent passing?
More context. Like, understand...
Like, do you think... Because you've spoken to me a lot, kind of, about how you feel you've grown in a way.
Yeah.
Like, spiritually, and you feel... And I remember you saying, like, you feel more connected to your grandmother, well, your nan, some more, and I just would like you to elaborate a bit more.
Yeah, cool. Like, I haven't really gone into this on the podcast, so recently my nan passed away. So at the time of uploading this, it's probably been like 2 months since her passing, which has been like a huge thing to be like navigating, because it's the first, apart from my sister Nellie, who is like with me right now.
My dad passed away last May, and I was dealing with that, and that helped not helped, sorry, that's not the right word to use.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, Nellie and I have different dads, so that's why it could be confusing for people when you're like your nan, but we're sisters.
Oh yeah, sorry, we should probably explain that a little bit.
Like we're like, it's so fucking weird, because I can, like, hand on my heart, I forget that we're like half siblings.
We generally, like, we don't feel it.
I just don't
like
think
that.
we are. I think it's fake. But like, anyway, we have different dads. So my nan was my dad's mum. But yeah, I haven't lost anyone since, apart from your dad, who was like a stepdad to me growing up. But more in my adult years, I didn't speak to him as much and stuff. So when he passed, it was more being there for Nell and having my own process a few months later, kind of thing. But I feel like my nan passing's brought us closer. Like, we've always been close, but like, it's brought us closer because we had a mutual understanding, and you knew exactly how to support me through grief. Whereas when your dad passed, I didn't know how to properly support you, because I'd never lost anyone before, which I know is such a blessing at, like, you know, I'm nearly 25 years old, and to like, not
and
really
to have all your grandparents alive, and like up until now, like,
and I feel so blessed for that. But basically with nan, like, it's really interesting. I'm obviously still like deeply processing it, and I definitely feel like I'm in, you know, like quite a depressing season of my life, in like the sense of just like lacking motivation and not feeling like 100% my best. But yes, I feel like it's almost brought us closer in a weird way, like definitely. My nan and myself, even though she's passed, it's like the things, like the divine things that have been happening, I guess, and like my intuition is so much more heightened. I don't know if that's a thing when like someone passes away and like your intuition gets better. I don't even know. And it's almost like I feel like there's like a part of her inside me, and like it's really weird. I feel like I've just matured like rapidly in a weird way.
I was going to say the same thing, but just quickly, like, about the intuition, I feel like it could just, because you already have so many angels, like you specifically, like, and your nan was also so spiritual, like her, you know what I mean? Like she would just, what's the word I'm looking for? She would like expand the power of your angels, like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. And it's really interesting because, like, since her passing as well, I've seen, like, the cycle of life so differently, and, like, I really have started to think, like, what is the afterlife? And, you know, being such, like, a tapped in person, I guess, like, I would say, like, you know, doing my spiritual practices, like, regularly and all the things, like, I kind of was shocked when she first passed. I didn't feel her around. And it's like, I still haven't properly felt her around, although I have felt her in some moments. And it's so weird. It's like the porridge thing, like how I ate porridge. So growing up, like, I would only ever eat porridge at my nan's house, and like her and Pop would make it for me, and that was like my thing with them. It was always like, eat porridge, Uncle Toby's honey flavor, like creamy honey.
It's so simple, but just so beautiful,
and they would memorable. Like make it for me. And then it's like, the weirdest thing is that the day that Nana died, she was in hospital, so I knew she wasn't well, although her death was kind of unexpected. I ate porridge that morning, and then my dad called me and was like, just letting you know, like, Nan's, like, the machines are getting turned off, blah, 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 blah. And so it's like, I ate porridge the morning that she died, and then I didn't eat porridge again for like another 2 weeks. And then on that night that I ate porridge that day, I then had like crazy dreams, like, connected to her and all this stuff. So it's like, I don't know, I'm like, is porridge my portal?
That is interesting.
It's so interesting. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's something I'm still processing so deeply. But I definitely feel like I myself as a person have like matured a lot in that, and like I can see life very differently, and like I fucking miss her so much, but it's like I know she's in such a better place right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially with that like maturing aspect. Like when my dad passed, it was so odd, like how it just made my mindset just completely shift. Like all of like the problems that I had with everyone, and like our mum, you know, like, you know, all the things like I was angry towards her about from like our childhood and anything like that, I just didn't care about anymore. Like I generally in my soul like had no energy left to care about those little things, like, and I just wanted to love everyone more, you know?
Yeah, it's like it makes you see like that, like life isn't actually as like society's like put all this pressure on us that like life's so important, or like not important, that's not what I'm trying to say. No, like
things that they make things that aren't important seem important.
Yes, exactly. Like even, you know, through the process of my nan passing, like my Pop and her were together since like pretty much since like year 2.
Yeah,
so
cute.
Like their entire life, and so going to their home and supporting my Pop to clear out my nan's stuff and all of that. Like, I just remember sitting in her room the day that she actually passed away. I went and sat by her bed after we said goodbye to her and everything. Like, she passed away in the hospital, so she was just like, it was just her room. And I just remember saying, I was just like, isn't it interesting? Like, she has all these things in her room, and like, life's all about the material possessions, but at the end of the day, you're gone, and now your whole family has to deal with what you have. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was the same when your dad passed. Like, we had to go and like, you know, to all of his stuff that was just there. It's like we're made to believe that we need to like we're made to believe that like wealth and like, you know, living like your dream life and everything is in the material possessions, but at the end of the day they're just left there for someone else to clean up once you're gone. Like it's not about that. I feel like it's made personally me realize that life's about the feeling, not actually what you're holding in your hand. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, couldn't say it any better. What country do you want to visit the most?
Country? What do you think it is?
Well, I already kind of know. Egypt.
Yeah, that's it.
But would you like to like explain why?
Okay, story time. Because it's like I've always felt like I've got like such a connection to Egypt, and like ancient Egypt in particular, and just the like medicine of that land. And I definitely feel like I've had past lives there. But then I went to a psychic, and she literally said to me, like, you and Jai both have past lives there, and you're going to go there together. And I remember that got me like pretty fixated on it, of like, oh my God, like, holy shit, I have to go there kind of thing. And then I kind of let that like go, because I think it was maybe a time, she said that to me throughout COVID, that's right, so like we couldn't travel because like we didn't get vaccinated and all the things. And then I recently have had like clients, like a couple of clients like just say to me like, oh my God, like when I got healings off you, it felt like I was in a like pyramid or like a temple in Egypt, or you know, like I've had things like that happen to me as well. So it's like the thread is definitely there, but
it's there, and it's a rope.
It is there, and yeah, I'm just like, that's definitely like my number one place I would love to go. Yeah. Although I don't think it will be, because I've never been overseas, I don't think it'll be like the first place I go. Yeah.
Probably go a little bit closer before we go that far. So,
yeah, like probably Bali or like Thailand or
ride an elephant,
New Zealand or something.
Yeah. Alrighty. How do you maintain balancing studying as a uni student and running a business at the same time?
All about understanding my menstrual cycle. Like, I'll preach it till I die. It is just, it changes everything. And I feel like it allows, because, you know, we have weeks of our menstrual cycle where we are lower in energy because our hormones are literally lower, and that's just a part of it, right? But like when you don't understand what's going on and you don't understand how to actually like live in alignment with that, it's really easy to get into a shame spiral and to feel like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, like I'm crazy, because you don't know how to like schedule your life in accordance to your energy, your moods, all the things. So I definitely feel like, you know, in the weeks, like this week I'm in my follicular phase, and moving into ovulation, and like the first week of the luteal phase, like you're high energy, like you know, I've got a lot of energy. It's like a really great time for me to like get a lot of stuff done. Like I'm very creative, so like making content, like making sure that I'm smashing out my assignments, like all the things like that, and it feels really good. Whereas in like the late luteal phase and then like my period phase, it's more a reflective time. So although you can still do things, it's like, how can I, like, I try to not do tasks like record a podcast episode, or, you know, things that like require me to like be expressive, because it's not really the vibe. So I would definitely say that. And I'm also obviously very blessed to like have the support from Jai for like, you know, the nights when I'm like, oh my God, I'm just exhausted, and he'll cook and like things like that.
Alrighty. Have you ever been or felt judged by your tattoos? Because if you don't know, she is covered.
I'm not really covered. No, I feel like people just always compliment them. Like, I remember when I got like my lion on the side of my leg, and Nana, because I lived at Nana's house, I had to try and hide it from her for so long, and it was so hard.
But that's kind of a given, your grandmother being.
Yeah. And I just remember like, it was so hard to like try and hide it, because like I lived there and everything.
And there was a pool and everything.
Yeah, and I remember she saw it when I was swimming, and I was just like, oh, fuck it, like, YOLO.
It's just a bruise.
And I remember my other Nana, who just passed, hated the snake I got on my leg. Like, she told me not to get it. She said, if you get it, it's cursed. Oh. And I was like, oh my God. But no, I don't really think I've been like so much as judged. Like, you know, sometimes you get like people here and there who are just like, oh, like when you're older. But I'm just like, well, when I'm older, I'm just going to remember how much I loved them when I was younger. Like,
yeah. Awesome. Baby names for a boy and a girl.
Oh my God, baby names?
Yes, just on the spot, like for fun.
No, I don't want to share them.
Oh, you don't? Sorry.
No way.
Oh, you said anything.
I know, I said anything, but like, I feel like that's something where like, if I share that and then someone I know is listening and then they have a baby first and they name it, I will literally cry. Because me and Jai have like decided on names that we both like, so... That would suck.
Sorry, we'll just delete that little...
delete that segment.
Yeah.
That sucked.
What can you tell me? The baby names?
I'll tell you another time.
Oh, okay. Hopes... Okay, sorry. So, last question. Hopes for the future.
hopes for the future, like things I wish to manifest kind of thing.
Yeah, just like your biggest hopes for the future.
Yeah. To finish my degree with continuing to get like really high grades throughout, like good grades. To get that Porsche, baby.
Yeah.
I do hope to go overseas. Like I haven't been yet, and like that's been like a really huge like limiting belief, I guess, for me. Like I believe like I don't know, like it's been like, you know, we didn't grow up being a family who went on holidays, and like mum's never been overseas, so I kind of have put that on myself. It's like called generational fucking healing, Tanika. Look it up. Like break the cycle.
Out of all of us, you're the only one who's left the state, really. Like,
yeah.
I've been to New South Wales, but that's it.
Oh, mum's been down there too and stuff. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like she hasn't really travelled that much, which is so crazy to me. But like, yeah, I feel like that's like a hope, is to like travel and just to continue like getting more and more solid and like feeling more and more secure and free in my life, I guess, because like obviously things can always look good from the outside, but it doesn't necessarily mean it feels that way. And I feel like this season of my life that I'm currently in right now, like the thick of it, of like really seeing just some things that don't feel like good in my life. So I hope that I can just continue to see the magic in all the things that unfold and just like grow and, you know, build my resilience and things like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's pretty much like my hopes and dreams.
Well, awesome.
Is that all the questions?
Yeah, thank you.
What are your hopes and dreams?
My hopes and dreams? Well, I want to travel the world eventually, like everyone, but, you know, start small, travel Australia. I have my little pal, Jackie Boy, my dog. He's my best mate, and I dream to just have a little van, hippie van, drive around with him in it, and, you know, just live the life. You know, sell things at markets and shower in waterfalls. Yeah.
Nelly is so creative, guys. Like, she is like one of those people who, like, with clay, like, she will just make the coolest stuff, and like painting anything. Like, she draws on her, like, I remember when you were younger, and like she used to, because she draws on her iPad like really, really well, like just graphic design, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
But I used to not believe she was doing it, and like Jai would always say to me, she's fucking done it herself, and I'm like, no, she's downloading I'm like, she's downloading sketches off the internet and colouring them in, and Jai's like, no, she's drawing them.
Yeah, he watched me and like proved me right. Like,
But Nelly's just so creative. Like, even just some of the random stuff that you just like make, I don't know, you're just so cool. Like, I think
I go through little bursts, I suppose. Yeah. Like, sometimes I go through, like, if you know, like artist block. But I get really in the zone and just get it.
Yeah, I really think you need to make like an Instagram to start like.
She's said to me lots of times.
An Etsy.
Yeah, I really, really do plan on doing that. Like and I'm dead set, guys. Like, when I'm moving around in my little van, I need to support myself, don't I? So you're gonna have to get an Etsy and all that sort of stuff.
Gonna have to throw that artist block out the window, mate.
Yeah, sure thing. But just at the moment, I don't really have a space or even a desk. So it's a bit.
It sounds so different.
That's it's fine, guys. It's seriously. Just like, no. Yeah, I'm deskless.
That sounded so depressing.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, I'm so creative, but you know what? At the moment, guys, like, I don't even have a space.
No, but seriously, it's really hard to just get into the zone. Like, if it's like,
you gotta sit on the floor.
Yeah, like, and then I get a bad back, and then I just hate it. And I hate the experience. It's like when you're studying, like, you can't study hunched over on the floor. Like,
yeah, and like, seriously, it's actually so true. Like, we were having this conversation the other day, like how I have my space downstairs that's my office. Like, I go down there and like it puts me into the flow of study or work. And like, you were literally saying that about art. Like, you don't have a space like that, so you kind of don't love it.
That's also why I'm probably so blocked all the time, because like I don't have the space.
Chakras are not clear.
Yes. I need to also, I just said yes with an A, but we're just, anyway, we love that. But yeah, I'm all blocked up.
Yeah. Wait, I just want to ask you as well, before we like wrap this up, even though it was like a Q&A for me, I just feel like that was actually so fun as well. Like,
yeah,
love that.
Definitely. Should do it again. Like,
yeah, we actually
like
should.
Once a year, maybe.
Yeah, but like, I want to ask you, what's your most embarrassing period story?
Oh my gosh, all of them. No, actually, I honestly don't think I've had enough experiences yet to say.
I can think of
like,
one.
Honestly, because yeah, my memory is honestly kind of bad.
No, it's not really embarrassing, but like when you had your appendicitis and you had your period.
Gosh, yes. So
period pains turn to surgery.
Yes, this is the one. Thank you, Sneak. I was staying with Sneak. I won't go into depth about why I was in hospital, but I just basically had appendicitis. But I was due for my period, so I assumed I just had really bad period pains. But it was just really sharp pains in my stomach, and I went to sleep and everything. And this is way back when Sneak was working at IGA, and so she had to go to work the next morning, and I was dead. Like, I actually was so close.
No, like literally, it's actually so crazy. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so after that, like, we went to hospital, blah, 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 like, had surgery.
They were like, hey, babe, it's not your period.
Yeah, but no, I didn't. So what happened, I got it during surgery.
Yeah.
Like, and I woke up with it, and I was so embarrassed, like, because they had to put a pad on me like a fucking baby. And I was just God. I was more mortified about that than actually having, like, if that makes sense. Like,
surgery
I was
having to have.
Yeah, like, I was like, bro, they would have literally had to wipe my ass like a baby. Like, sorry if that's a bit TMI, but yeah, but that is definitely it. And then I just had it, and like, for the rest of the time I was in hospital, and just felt so horrible.
Yeah, I remember, like, Nelly, like, was so sad, and like our nana got her sent sunflowers.
Yes.
And like, I tried to get a photo of Nelly with the sunflowers, and you were just so sad.
I couldn't even try to smile. Like, I was so sad.
Oh, that was actually so scary, because like, I literally went to work the next day, because what actually happened was we had the most wholesome Sunday morning. We went to a Cool to Be Conscious breathwork event. We went out to an organic cafe for breakfast. We went for a swim at the beach, I think, and like a walk. It was so nice. And then we come home, and Nelly started feeling a bit off, and that's when you were like, oh, I think it's just my period. And we're like, okay, let's just rest. Bitch doesn't fucking wake up. I literally go to work the next morning.
You actually, like, picked me up off the ground and dropped, like, because I was dead.
She was limp. It was so scary. It was traumatic.
It was very, well, it turned out to be more than just appendicitis. Yeah. But turns out I had, like, Crohn's disease, but for some reason I don't anymore.
Yeah, it was such a... But they didn't even know. It was, like, this bizarre... Like, Nelly had to go get all these checkups for ages after.
It's very odd. Like, I'm probably just in a very, very good remission, but...
Yeah.
And, like, we just...
But that was just so... That was, like...
That was very scary.
I remember I was at work, and then, like, you just didn't pick up your phone, because, like, I went to work, obviously, and then you just didn't pick up your phone. I just, like, went and picked up my bag, and I was like, I'm leaving. And everyone was like, where are you going? Where do you think you're going? Gotta pack these shelves. And I was like, my sister's at home.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the doctors literally said if I didn't get you to hospital in time... Like... If I left it later, you would have probably,
And God bless our mum. You called her.
Like, and she just thought that it was like your period pain.
She just thought you're being dramatic.
Because, like, we're drama queens.
Yes, but she felt so bad because she had to rush. When I was in hospital.
Oh, yeah, she had to go pick mum up.
Yes, you had to rush to Gympie and pick mum up.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so also, I was left in the Nambour. So...
because they wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, we had to go to the Nambour hospital, emergency, and I was sitting in the bed like for 11 hours straight.
I know.
I was not allowed food or water because they said I needed surgery.
And
I was just like sneaky, and I didn't have my like anyone with me for at least like 3 hours. It was so miserable. And my phone was dying. Anyway, this just brought back all the memories.
Oh my god, sorry guys.
Yeah, we're kind of rambling.
No, but no, that was like pretty hectic, and I completely forgot about all that. But I remember like when we were lining up in the emergency room, which wasn't for long, but I went across the road and got us a smoothie.
Yes.
And you were just like...
I nearly threw it up.
Yeah, you were like, I can't. And I was like, God, she's so traumatic.
No, it was like, it was such a good smoothie. It was it was like a really big mango one.
It was
but I just
so
couldn't.
Good. Anyway, thank you so much for like this. I feel like it's been such a fun episode, and like I don't know, that was just so good. I hope everyone listening loved it, and welcome back to the podcast after a bit of time off. I love you so much, and yeah, this season is very much going to be a bit more laid back. I feel like I'm just going to get like guests on, have it a bit more like chill, have conversations about health and all the things. Like we still want to be like healthy queens, we still want to understand our cycle, have these conversations around our menstrual cycle, but I also want to like just show a bit more of like my personality, I guess, and not just like keep it so, not that I had it clinical, but like, you know, I want it to just be more like I'm just a normal chick too. Like just because I go on and on about the menstrual cycle, like I still like live a normal life, like a very normal life, and I just think that a lot of people have in their mind like it's one or the other, and like you've got to be super duper healthy, or you have to be like on the other end of the spectrum. But whereas like I feel like I have a very good balance of like it all. So yeah, I just want this season of the podcast to just really get you guys getting to know me a bit more, you know, all the things. So hopefully this episode achieved just that. But yeah.
All right,
Thank you, Nelly.
Nice meeting everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being a listener of the podcast. I love and appreciate you so much. And to show my appreciation and love for you, head on over to my Instagram at sacredspace_Tanika. Jump in my DMs, let me know why you love the podcast, and I'll send you a little something special. See you next week.